Wow, 2-for-1 days. Wild Card Custom, Paint Pimp, Wild-Eyed Northern Boy, Ghetto Garage. It's Sunday still, 7/28. The diamond plate, I had to rough it up with 80 grit. And what you want to do is, you see how you can see it sanded one way and sanded the other way? I feel if you sand all one way, that if it started lifting up, which I don't believe it will, if you sand the opposite direction, wow, that was a slur, the opposite direction, see how the grind marks go one way and the grind marks go the other way? I feel that when you use the glue, that if it did lift, which it won't, that this, because it's grinded the other way, the glue in that pour would stop it from lifting. I did all that. See, I got the hood covered up because I'm in limbo because I only have so many square foot. So I've been getting a lot of and I did use this. You want to use this because you know, it sucks a lot of shavings up, like I had said. And I started to use the DA, and it just didn't work. And so I ended up using a Dremel tool. And of course, I always wear goggles and stuff. I've been getting a lot of response about my chopper and when I'm going to work on it. Okay, this is how it all started. When I got a tattoo on my neck by Don at Fine Tattoos, that was the start of it. I owed him for a tattoo before. Now I'm going to get a back piece done. And I really didn't want to do the Mustang. I shouldn't say that, but it's true. I don't like working on other people's stuff. I just don't like doing it. I didn't have to do it, but he is my friend. It's like going into a tattoo parlor of your friends and say, I want this tattoo. And then you get the tattoo done and he says, no, we're good. Well, you know, after a while, you can't use somebody. And I knew he wanted some work done on his car, and when I did his car, I didn't spray the hood and the doors and stuff like that because I didn't want to. But anyway, back to what I was saying. This is my bike. This is right here, this is the original fender, and I added a fender on. I wish the fender was round, but it's not. It's like a trailer fender. It's just what I have. And you can see I like these little pikes. I like to put them everywhere. The seat, I modified it quite a bit. I'm not a upholsterer. It's just 2 pieces of metal with contact cement and foam and leather. Matter of fact, the original seat, it was really huge. I got it from my buddy John Speck, and it was huge, and I cut it down, and that's what it come out to be. And excuse me, that is real snakeskin in there. And the scrotum grabber, I believe I'm going to weld some more metal up in here and then fill in the rest with Marglass, and it will come apart. Well, it's bolted down, but you can see right there that it will separate. Okay, you can see where I'm not Mr. Metal Man. I mean, you can see where I beat on it right there, but that's the best it gets. This, the reason these grips have a foam on it, because I got a scar between my eyes when I was working on it about a year or so ago. I stood up and it caught me in my eye. This is the original tank. It was an independent tank, I think, and I went in there and hacked it up because I had it done one way and I wanted it more like that. The last time I worked on it, this is the bottom piece, and then of course got to put a piece in there because I don't like it on some bikes where you can see the whole neck right there. But that's just my preference. It's 57 degree rake, 20 over. I always wanted to buy a Springer front end, but it's kind of hairy to handle now. And I don't have internal grips or anything, so what I did is I drilled holes right through the handlebars. And I run the cables down through here, down through the middle. Would I like to have internal grips? Yeah, but I just can't justify the money. Anyway, the standard, what I think I'm gonna do, and this is a shout out plus a question for custom Bulldog custom chrome. Here's a few things coming down the pike that I want done. I think I'm gonna make this into a standard, this big Allen thing. Things like that I want chromed. This I made, I went to Daytona before and I couldn't find a open primary cover. Wow. You see it? This is actually just license plate plastic. The purple. Should come out better than that. Okay. You can see how, you know, caveman-ish shit is. You know, it doesn't look that rough. Where's my finger at? It doesn't look that rough when I started, but it is. It's like body work, but you can't put filler in it. You gotta keep sanding, wet sanding. And you gotta hog that out for the mirror and stuff. In order to get it from that cast to this cast, so cold out here. It takes a long time. And there's a spider web that I stuck on my license plate. And this is a license plate bracket that I made. See, the reason I pushed this bike out, because my wife ran in the back of this truck, and I thought I was gonna bring it in and just paint it red. Well, one thing led to another, and then lo and behold, we got that. Anyway, I'll keep going. These are just like little pikes that I buy. They're quite pricey. I just put them on the shifter and everything I could think of. I put them on the jugs and everything. This little thing, this is gonna be a problem. I like this hanging way out here. This is petcock, and I made it. I think this bike's gonna be purple and blue. I think, I don't know. Of course, it's gonna be metal flake. I just like things hanging out when you set on it. I like things out of control. And now I realize if you have a bike, when the gas gets down to here, that is your reserve, and you got about a teaspoon from here of gas, and you'll be pushing down the highway. So now I gotta go make something here to get from here back. I need to make that as a reserve. I need to put another shutoff valve here. You know, one thing leads to another. Okay, that's a front spoiler that I made. I'm not happy with it. This is actually an old Sea-Doo trailer. I horse traded from my brother for something. And you can tell, like right there, that actually flips. Okay, moving on. I like to mount the headlight down below. Why, I don't know. This is gonna get rough. This is some plates that, this reminds me of an Evel Knievel motorcycle. Why? I don't know. See, I haven't made this piece of metal yet, and it's so close to this pipe that I'm gonna have to put a header wrap right here, and I don't like that, but I'm gonna have to. And then welded up underneath there, and barely can just push my starter. You know, it's really in rough shape right now as far as, I haven't pulled the motor out. The battery, I'll have to go on the other side. This, I made that plexiglass cover, that's adjusted timing. This was a 180 swing SU carb. Actually, what I mean is, this, I had this aluminum welded on here because I couldn't find this swing out. It was rough cast. I can't show you that because, you know, it was before I had a camcorder. Anyway, and then I went through and that carburetor was rough cast. I went through and polished all that. And then here's my choke man. All that is a key ring I got in Florida with some fake diamonds in his eyes. And then you can see where the gas line is. I like these old things right here. The old school gas lines. The little clamp. And I want my gas line just where I want it. So actually this right here, this little wire is nothing but a carburetor choke spring I straighten out. And then I made this bracket and this bracket behind here because I want my stuff separated. I see guys on the internet, they'll have their cable out here, way out here, and I don't want that. I want it all tight. So my throttle cable will come up, swing back down, and it'll actually go right where the screwdriver is, through that hole, then run up underneath the frame. Okay. And then this is my logo. I like stuff hanging way out there. Now I'm concerned with, this is a SS Super E Shorty Carb. I'm concerned that it's gonna puddle. Gas is gonna puddle in here like a ton of ram on a car, but I'm not sure. And I think that's pretty much, I was concerned there because it hangs out so far. I was concerned, so what I did is I made a bracket. It goes down here behind the exhaust. And if I can stay in focus, I just, you know, everything's in rough. Well, welded to another bracket, and you know, with a bolt down to the head. You can see it's still loose. Okay, got 4 controls on it. It was a handful before when I rode it. I do want it longer, but I always told myself if I put a Springer front end on it, I want it way far out there. And if I do, I'll end up making it to a 3-wheeler. I really want to finish this bike. I'm not a bike builder. And right here, about the battery. The battery is going to go right here because that's where the battery is going to go. And of course, this is all going to be all enclosed. And then what I'm going to do around here is put a round exhaust pipe and weld around it so the chain is encapsulated. And the oil tank used to hang out like this. So I modified that. Because usually they call this a horseshoe oil tank on the battery set there. And when I'd be riding on the road, you're getting a lot of heat because, you know, Harleys are kind of old technology. They ain't liquid cooled. So that's why I pulled the battery out and welded this up in there to give it more oil. You know, it would circulate through the motor. I would still be working on this if this truck wouldn't have got crashed. Not blaming my wife because I got carried away on this thing. You know, I get carried away on a lot of things. I believe I'm going to call this probably Psychedelic Circus or Death Trap or whatever you want to call it. Another thing that I did is this is an exhaust tip off my Bagger motorcycle. It had full big pipes on it, and I hogged it out and just made a cover for it over the oil filter because I don't want anything that anybody else has got. So that has to be re-chromed. This has to be re-chromed. I'm wondering, Bulldog Custom Chrome, when I send you this, can I fill that in with mud? Can I fill this in with mud right here with fiberglass, and will it still chrome plate? Like I said, I'm getting ahead of the game, you know, because I've been thinking about this because I got downtime, you know. I ain't gonna say I wish I wouldn't have took this Mustang in, but you know, I still want a back piece, and I think I'm gonna end up doing my back piece. It's gonna be my logo. I don't know. I hope that you know, actually, to tell you the truth, looking at this bike is always covered up with that cover. Oh, I was gonna tell you. You see this right here? These little edges right here where they're beveled. I don't have no mill or nothing. What that is I cut all this out with a jigsaw and I cut it big. And then I took a wood router bit with a bearing on it and I put it in this little drill. And you gotta watch your hands because that piece of aluminum, it jumps. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it, but you know, man, because every time I even think about it, it makes me nervous. That little thing right there, that twisted chrome used to come off an old sissy bar that I got from Uncle Skip back in the day. The countdown is coming, people. Peace. Be good to each other. What's my mood? Pretty good. It bothers me that I haven't worked on that bike because I don't even notice it's there half the time. I have to get it back on it this summer. And once it comes in this garage, it ain't leaving. Peace.